Okay.
Okay, so today the concept is the same. Today we are going to discuss about the SAP HANA HA, high availability, SAP HANA HA and replication concept, high availability replication concept. So here for HANA HA, so what we have to do first of all, to perform the HANA HA configuration, so we have to do the some activities on the primary and secondary node here. So that normally in most of the production landscape, the database are in the HA, high availability mode. Why? Because if it is something is happened, single host, single host, something is happened. So either some hardware failure, something is happened, your production database is not available. If the database is not available, applications will disconnect from the database. If the applications are disconnected, then users will not be able to log in. So there are many cases. So that is the reason. So customers will put like production database and the HA mode, means primary and secondary mode. They will put into the primary and secondary here. So suppose example, this is the primary database. So this is the secondary database. So secondary host, secondary database. So here the users, so applications will, this will talk to the primary, and this will to replicate, this will talk to the secondary also here. So this will talk to the primary and replication also here. There are some OS level tools are there here, Coro Sync, cluster, pacemaker, some tools are there. This will talk to the primary database and secondary database here. Your applications also will connect to the your applications also will connect to the your primary database only, right? Virtual host name. This virtual host name will point to the primary and secondary only. So in case primary is down, immediately secondary will be the next primary of the system. So immediately your connections will be point out to the database here, secondary database here. Sir, what about the data here? Up to here, you have the data here. Up to here, you have the transactions data, everything is there. Then when it is failover to the secondary, then is the data up to date? Yes. Why? Because here we have the replication concept. We have the replication concept primary to secondary. So that as part of this replication, whatever the data is there here, A to Z, all the data will be replicated to the your secondary database. So that whenever the failover happens, you have the up-to-date data is available here. So no issues. So you have the up-to-date data available. Whatever data is there primary, and same data is available in the secondary also. So you have the data is up to date. So there is no data loss activity. So users can work from here also. Here also they can work. Here they can work off middle, and remaining they can work from here. So that's the concept of the HANA HA concept, high availability concept here. HANA high availability concept here. So to perform this configuration, to achieve these configurations, so what we have to do here? So what configurations we have to perform in the systems here? So you have both the hosts. You need two hosts. You need two hosts, two operating systems with the same size. So we have to plan two OS. One is the primary. Second one is the secondary with same size. Then so install the so HANA on primary and secondary with same SID and same instance number. Only the host names are same, different. We have to plan the two OS, two operating systems, primary and secondary with the same size, different host names. Means operating system names should be different. Obviously, we cannot keep both the operating system names same anywhere. It should be identical. It should be different. So primary and secondary. So same as like we have to do the same different host name. We have to keep it here. So primary same SID, same instance number, we have to keep it here. Then once you've done it, so check if both the databases DBs are up and running or not, up and running or not. We have to check that one. So we'll do this three now. We'll do this three now here. So we have three operating. We have the two operating systems in our case here to perform the HA configuration. Right. So one is we have the two operating systems here. So one is the SAP. One is the SAP Linux. SAP Linux. SAP. So Linux. Sorry, SAP HANA. SAP HANA. The second one is called the SAP Linux 1. SAP Linux 1 we have, right? SAP, so Linux 1. So we have the two operating systems, same size, and we have to install the same. So this is the SAP HANA here. Okay, so we have the space available. We have the SAP HANA. In this, we have the, so, okay. Next one is called the, so we have the SAP Linux 1. SAP Linux 1. Yeah, so we have the, so both SAP Linux 1 is there. So we have the SAP HANA is there. Both are same. So both are same size, same set of memory, same file systems are available. Okay, so that is fine. So here both the systems are, both the OS are same size, same different host names. Yes, we have the different host names here. So install the HANA on primary and secondary. So both same, both then we have to install it. But here in the primary, in the SAP HANA, check we have, so HDB is there. HDB is there, right? We have the HDB. HDB is there here. HDB is there. So this is up and running. Same as like in the secondary also, we have the same HDB should be exist here. HDB should be exist with the same instance number, and the same SID. Yes, right. In the SAP HANA Linux 1 also, we have the HDB and instance number 02. So same primary and secondary. So we have the, so this is available here, right? So this is the SAP HANA here. So configure here in the HANA Studio, we will configure it here, SAP Linux 1. So Linux 1 is our secondary host here. So 02 host name here, right? So here, okay, so we have, it is installed. So this is installed. So this is also done. So both are up and running. So we have done it here, right? Both are up and running here. So here both are up and running. Let me check the configurations here. Okay, so we have primary SAP HANA HDB 02 is running. Secondary on SAP Linux 1. So HDB 02 instance number, your HANA is running here. All right. So it's running. It's a running. This is also running fine here. This is also so running. Both are up and running here. Right. So we have primary and secondary SAP Linux 1 also. We have the one more HANA database also. This is also up and running here. So then what next? Here also HDB. Here also you have the HDB. So 02 and here also HDB 02 instance number. Both are up and running. We can see here we have added to the HANA Studio also. We have added to the HANA Studio here. We have added to the HANA Studio here. Here we have added to the HANA Studio. Fine, right? Only system DB I have added. So tenant also we can add it to the here. Okay, so I have added so tenant also, right? So this is the SAP HANA 0 to tenant. So this is the SAP Linux 1 0 to tenant. So total 4 I have added. So primary and secondary 4 I have added to the HANA Studio here. So both the check, both are up and running. Yes, we have checked both are up and running fine. So then what next? After that, what next here? After that, what next here? So check the so the fourth step here, so the fourth step here, what we have to check if primary is able to connect secondary or primary able to talk to secondary and the secondary can able to talk to so primary. Both the side connection should work. So that is the main intention here. So it should talk to means so ping R. So SH should work it here. So ping SAP Linux 1. If you use it, so it should ping, right? And also SH SAP Linux 1, right? Enter the passphrase key. So you can enter the same password, right? Yeah, we connected. So from SAP HANA to SAP Linux 1, from one host to another host, we connected now. See here, we connected. SAP HANA to SAP Linux 1, we connected, which means primary to secondary, it is working. Primary to secondary, it is working. Then secondary to primary here. So in this case, secondary to primary, SH to SAP HANA. So it is asking the password. It is asking the password. Then let me enter the password here. Yeah, it is connected. SAP Linux 1 to SAP HANA, it is working, right? So then ping SAP HANA to check the connectivity. Yes, so both the side, the connectivity is working here, right? You can see that the connectivity is working to the 125 and here, so it is working to the 136 here. Both the side, the connectivities are working fine. Both the side, the connectivities are working fine. So we are good. So, okay, this is working here. Primary to secondary, secondary to primary. So we are able to connect it here. The next one, both are up and running. Check the primary is able to connect. Yes, primary and secondary both are able to connect it here. So then what next after that? So here, the main thing is here, the very important step here. That is a very important step here. So copy the SSFS keys from primary to secondary. The keys location is called the USR, SAP, SID, SYS, so global, right? Security, so security slash RSS star. From here to at the same location of the secondary, we have to copy the sub keys. It's a very important step. So if someone asking you, can you tell me the very important steps in the HANA HA configuration? HA configuration side, primary, secondary, both should be up and running. And primary, we have to install the SID. Secondary also, we have to install the same SID, same instance number. Same SID, same instance number. Once both are up and running, then copy the keys from primary to secondary. We have to copy the keys here. So we have to copy the keys here. So log into the primary here. So through WinSAP here. So we can use the WinSAP command. Here we can use the WinSAP is the tool. We can use it here. WinSAP is the tool. We can use it here to copy the data here. So SAP HANA. SAP is HANA is our primary. So just to connect to the WinSAP here. Here, so we have to go to the USR, SAP, then SID, sys global security RSC, this one, and here we need to copy the data and keys. Data and keys we have to copy. Means entire folder we have to copy. We have to copy, drag and drop. It is available here. Then connect to the secondary here. SAP. So Linux 1. Primary to secondary, same location we have to copy. So why we have to copy means to successfully register secondary into primary, so we have to perform this configuration. So global security, so this is the folder, same folder you can just replace here. So it is replacing, done, right? So it is done, it is replaced. So then once it is done, check the timelines also here, 9:14, 10:10. You can check the timelines also, 9:30 data, 9:30 here, 9:30 key also, so 9:30 in SAP Linux 1 also, the key also, so 9:30. Okay, it's copied, so both are same. Once you copy it to the secondary, so restart the secondary once, restart the secondary HANA database, secondary HANA database. Why? Because to see after copying whether your database is coming to the up or not, just to restart. So stop and start. So here one more step what we can see here. So restart the secondary HANA DB to see whether DB is coming up or not after copying the keys, SSF keys. So this is the very important here. So that is the very important here. So that's the reason we need to copy the SSFS keys. So that is the very important step here. Okay. So stop it here. So then just you can start it here. So now it will give the clear information whether it will start or not. Okay. So here, while we'll doing the configuration, we will come to know the replications and replication configurations here. So let's see whether secondary is getting started or not. That is the very important thing here. I think secondary is getting started. Not started still, but it is getting started. You can see here, it's starting. All the process are getting started here in the line X1. Right, it is started. So how can we name it with here host name? SAP Linux 1. This is the SAP Linux 1 here. So it is running on the SAP Linux 1 here. So this is running on the SAP HANA here. So both are different hosts. Both are the different hosts here. Both are the different hosts here. So both are the different hosts here. Okay, it is running. It started now. It is started. You can see here it is started now. So why it is taking so time while starting means normally you know this one. So right, while starting the tables will be the data will be reloaded from the so disk storage to and one main memory into main memory. So that's the reason it will take some time. We already discussed during the starting and stopping procedures, right? Delta merge, save point, interval time, we discussed it. So why it will take some time, right? So now after the keys also, it is starting now. So now we need to perform the configuration. Replication, we have to perform the configuration here. So here to perform the configuration here, so first enable the enable the replication. First enable the replication on primary. So make sure follow the sequence of steps, you need to follow it here. First enable the replication on primary. Primary means in SAP HANA side, right? So for this one, what you have to do, you need to go to the system DB and your primary system database, then configuration and monitoring, and configure the replication. Configure the replication here. In the primary side, you have to configure the replication here, right? So I went to the primary here, SAP HANA DB2, then enable the system replication. This will enable the system replication on the source system. So primary we are enabling. Why means, so to replicate the whatever the data is there in the primary, continuously it will replicate it to the your secondary database. Why? Because in case of any failover, in case of any disasters, that time we can replicate our data to the secondary node, so that we can bring up the secondary, we can work it at same as like disaster recovery also, DR site also, right? So immediately the secondary will take over the primary place, then the users will work from here while this database is down also. If it is the only one, this is down, then we cannot work. System down until you fix the issue, right? So you fix the issue. So now, so primary is down, immediately secondary will be up, then secondary will take over of the primary responsibility, then the business will run on the secondary database, then you can work on the your primary database issues and everything. That's the reason of the SAP HANA HA high availability concept is there here. So first enable the replication on the primary here. So enable the replication here. Enter the logical system name. Enter the logical system name here. So logical system name. So backup also we have to take it out. I think backup also someone already taken the yesterday backup they have taken already. That's why it's showing here. Why? Because whatever the data is there in the primary, same data will be replicated here, right? So enter the primary logical system name. So PRI, primary site. Okay, then finish it here, so that it is enabling the replication. You can see it is enabled the replication on the primary is done. So then once the primary replication is done here, then the 8th one is very important here. So register the secondary into primary, This has to be performed in secondary DB. So for this one, you need to stop the database. You need to stop the database here. Secondary database, you need to stop it here. So secondary database, you need to stop it. This is the secondary, right? So how can we see means SAP Linux 102 here. So then we have to stop it here. Stop, hard stop. So from here also we can stop it here. Once it is stopped, then right click, configuration monitoring, configure the system replication. Configure the system replication here. We have to use the configure the system replication. So see here, register secondary system. So register the secondary system of the primary. So means secondary, we are registering into the primary here. Then click next button here. Secondary site name, sec. Just provide. Okay. So we are registering the secondary into primary. So this has to be performed in the secondary DB only. For that one, we have stopped the secondary DB, right? We have stopped the secondary DB. Then we went to the here and configure the replication. Then here you see here, so we have the two items here. One is the replication mode and operation mode here. So replication mode here. We have the replication mode. We have the three types of replication modes here. We have the three types of replication modes here. So, and operation modes here. Three types of replication modes and two types of operational modes here, right? So these are the very important here to choose it here. So synchronous in memory and asynchronous. That is the three types of replication modes here. Okay. So three types of replication modes we have here. Then second one is called the operation modes. Delta data shipping and log replay. Delta data shipping and log replay mechanisms here. So delta data shipping and log replay mechanisms here. So here delta data shipping, log replay. These are the two operational modes and these are the three replication modes. When you are registering this one into secondary, we need to choose any one of the replication mode. So replication mode, and we have to choose the one of the operation modes. We have to choose the operation modes. We have to choose it, either the replication modes and operation modes, both we have to choose it here. So what is mean by synchronous replication mode? What is mean by synchronous replication mode here? Synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous, we have the two terms, synchronous, sync mem, and asynchronous here. So synchronous means so synchronous replication mode means primary will send the data to secondary. So then primary will send the data to the secondary, right? This is the secondary. Then secondary will respond back. Secondary will send the acknowledgement back to the primary, stating that I have received your transaction. Then commit the next transaction. So like that, one sequence wise, the data will be transmitted. Data will be transmitted to the your secondary. Then secondary will send the acknowledgement back to the primary. Then primary will send the one more send. Then secondary will send to the here. So like that, in the synchronous mode, primary system will commit the transaction after it will after get the reply from the secondary. After secondary will send the response acknowledgements from the secondary to primary, saying that I have received your transaction. So I have received your transaction and stored in the in memory. Then primary system will commit the next transaction code, next transaction, like that. So primary will keep on sending to the secondary will receive, then secondary will send back to the primary, like that. In the synchronous mode, it will keep on sending the data. So which means there is no data loss activity. There is no data loss activity here. So here directly it will write the data into the in memory. In sync mem, mem means memory. It will write the data into in memory, secondary of the in memory. In memory, it will not write, data is not written to the disk here, neither in the primary or nor in the secondary. It will not write into the disk here. So that is the so whenever the takeover is executed, secondary is not available, then the secondary is outdated. So whenever the takeover is whenever it will take over, means the primary will down, immediately it will take over. Here. So asynchronous mechanism means we have the one more type here. Synchronous, both are same. Synchronous means synchronous sync, synchronous in memory. Both are same. Synchronous means secondary will send the acknowledgement to the primary, then primary will commit the next transaction here. So if the secondary is down, primary we may face the transactions, some performance issues here. So that is the reason both the systems, primary and secondary, should be available here in this mode. So asynchronous mode means here. So primary will send the transactions to the secondary, then the primary will keep on sending the transactions to the secondary. secondary will not bother about so whether I am receiving the transaction or not. Primary will not bother about whether my secondary receiving the transactions or not. Whether it receive or not, it won't bother. Whether it's not received also, it will send the one more transaction. It will send the one more. That means, so here it will secondary will not send the any acknowledgement, any commitment, any acknowledgement. So here it will not send anything here to primary. So in the synchronous mode, it will send the acknowledgement back to the primary, but in the asynchronous mode, secondary will not send acknowledgement back to the primary. Secondary will not send acknowledgement back to the primary, so that there is no issues here. No issues here. Secondary system is so no issues here, which means secondary down also will not bother about the primary. Secondary will not receive the data also, it will not bother. So most of the time, DR scenario, we will choose the asynchronous mode. DR scenario, we will choose the asynchronous mode. We will choose it here, asynchronous mode. So in the DR scenario. So now we are not in the DR scenario. We are in the we are in the primary and the secondary HA scenario. So either you need to choose the synchronous. So then either synchronous mode here, synchronous in memory here. Okay, that is the replication modes here, right? Then we have the operation modes here, logged replay and delta data shipping here. So delta data shipping means this mode establish the system replication every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, the data will be shipped to the continuously shipping to the secondary system. So every 10 minutes, but it will not be replayed. The logs will not be replayed. It will be keep it here in the buffer. So which means primary will send the data to secondary, then secondary immediately will not replayed on the transactions. It will keep it until takeover in place. Whenever the takeover in place, then all the transactions will be replayed. It may take some time. Then it will commit the it will come to the online status here. So that is the concept of the delta data shipping. So which means the secondary system persists the received log entries, but secondary system will receive the logs, but it does not replay them until takeover. So takeover. So takeover means immediately the failover happens, immediately the secondary will not come to the online status. It will take longer time if you choose the delta data shipping. If you choose the log replay, immediately it will be takeover in place here. So that is the reason. So we will choose the secondary log replay option, either the synchronous or synchronous in memory. We will choose it here. These options we will choose it here. So asynchronous means it's the DR side. We will choose it here, disaster recovery side. So now we are not in the DR side. We are only primary and secondary. So that's the reason here we need to choose the primary and secondary here. Primary and secondary here. Here the primary source information we have to give it here. Then initiate the full data shipping, full data, whatever the data is there in the primary, it will be replicated to the secondary. Like that, I am choosing the option here. Okay. So then start the secondary after the full database replication, automatically click on OK button. Then, so it is registering. It is registering here. See here, it is replicating. The data is registration here. It is registration. So it is refreshing. So it's done. Register the secondary into primary. So where can we check? Where can we check here? Just go to the primary here. See here, database is starting. Secondary is starting here. Go to the replication here. So here you see the replication here. The replication is starting here. See here, host 1, secondary host, replication modes, and replication status unknown. So then it will come to the active initializing. So full replication is active now. Full replication is running now, right? So one by one, the data will be replicated. Data will be replicated here. Data will be replicated to the primary to and secondary. The data will be replicated now. So now full replication is happening, primary to secondary. Your secondary host is SAP Linux 1. In the primary host is your SAP HANA 1. The replication modes are the sync mem. The replication status is active, currently initializing phases here, initializing. So then this two will come to the online status. Like that, the primary will send the response to here. You can see the here you will get the option like so replication is active. So replication is active, something like that. We will get it out here. So primary needs initial data backup for the system replication. See here. So connection refused. So which means primary needs the initial data backup for the replication. Initial data backup. So means primary we have to take the backup here. Primary we have to take the backup here. So that's why. So here it is taking the, it is giving the error. So I'm taking the complete DB backup. I'm taking here. So that backup related data will be moved to the your secondary. That's why. So I'm taking the backup also. Done. So it is done. See here, now it is preparing the persistency. The full replica is happening now. Full replication is happening here. So now active. So now full replica is happening now. Means full database backup, full data is replicating from primary to secondary now. Full replica is happening in the primary to secondary now. Primary to secondary here. So it is happening now. So it is happening. So it may take some time for the full replica. Done. So it's active status, sync mem and active status here. Sync mem and active status here. See here, data is replicated here. So data is, how can we know whether the data is replicated or not? Here we can see the log positions here. So what is the last log position? What is the last save point log position here? So what is the data shipped log position? What is the shipped log position here? So 190 to 960 here. Shipped log position time here. So all the information will be available here. All the information it is available here. So all the information it is available in the system here. So here we can find out whether data is moving to the secondary or not here. So data is moving to the secondary or not here. Here we can find out the information here. So now both are shipping now. Now both are happening now. Now both are, so data primary to secondary now happening here. This is the primary. Now if you do any changes in the primary, here, so same will be replicated in the secondary also. In the primary, see here, there is no user here. Let me create the one user here. The same user will be replicated to the secondary also, which means whatever the transactions are done in the SAP HANA primary host, same data will be replicated to the your secondary also. So same data will be replicated to the your secondary also here. But secondary will not be accessible here. Secondary will not be accessible currently. Why? Because secondary will not be accessible. Whenever the takeover happens, then only the secondary will be accessible. But the data, the services are running on the secondary, but it's not be accessible. It's not be accessible here. It will not be accessible in the system here. But data, the replication, you can see everything is okay. Data and replication, so the everything is okay. All services are active in sync. In sync means the data is replication is in sync primary to the secondary. The primary to secondary, the data replication is happening here. See here, the replication is system replication is active here. So the data is getting replicated here. So whenever something is happened, immediately the takeover happens. Takeover means secondary will be the primary. Now primary will be the secondary here. That is called the takeover. Here. That is called the takeover scenario here. Takeover. So takeover. So which means, so now let me, if I perform the takeover command here, takeover means I want my secondary should be the primary, failover. perform the takeover. So if I perform the takeover now, what will happen? The secondary will be the primary now. Secondary will be the primary now. Whatever the data is there, whatever the Ravi user we created, same user is available in the secondary also it is available. We can check it out that one. So maybe, so we can also check in the, so here OS level we can perform it, and HANA cockpit level also we can perform the replication configuration. So, and OS level commands and HANA Studio also we can use it. So these many layers we can use it to perform the configuration, here. So here we have a replication, right? That means SAP Linux 1. So here also we can see the configuration here. Means in the replication configuration also we can also here also we can perform it here. But let's see here. The takeover is happening here. See here, it is refreshing. The takeover is happening here. Yes, secondary is available now. Now see here the data. This is a SAP Linux 1 host. Previously we have created the data in the SAP HANA. So now SAP Linux 1 host. If you expand it, see here Ravi user also available in the, so user we created in the primary. So then after that we have takeover. Then now Ravi user is available in the secondary also it is available. Secondary also it is available here. So when the secondary you can access means whenever the takeover happens, that time we can see the secondary. In the secondary node, SAP Linux 1, you see Ravi user is available here, which means, so the takeover is happened, means the data is replicated from primary to secondary, the data got replicated. The data got replicated here. So this is the way we can achieve the configuration here. This is the way we can achieve the configuration of the
Sir, if I have Oracle, then I have, this is the same process for HM.
Oracle, you have to use the different procedure. Oracle data guard, Oracle, there is a different procedure. That procedure you have to use it here for Oracle. For HANA only, we have this concept. Oracle, you have to use the different concept.
Okay, sir.
Sir, after the takeover, the secondary will react as a primary?
Yes, secondary will react as the primary. Now we can see, right? Secondary system is up. Sorry, this is the secondary. SAP Linux 1. SAP Linux 1 is up now. Fully up, it is available for the business use cases, business data and everything. Whatever the data is available up to here. So whatever the data is there, same data is available in the secondary also it is available. So takeover means that is the same thing. Takeover in the database here. In the HANA cockpit also we can configure and we can see the config. This is same. In the HANA cockpit also, so we can perform the similar configuration in the HANA cockpit also. Go to the HANA databases here. Now visible the configuration, because through HANA Studio also we can perform the configuration. Visible the configuration. Visible in the configuration here. Because either Studio you can use it, or HANA cockpit also we can use it. It's very simple.
So simultaneously you can't use the both.
Yes. Either you have to use this one, or so either you can use the voice level commands, either HANA cockpit you can use it, or HANA Studio you can use it for perform the replication configuration. Replication configuration you can use it. So either way, anyone you can use it here. So here, so you have the database. So you need to configure the other database also. Other database means, So we can register the secondary also into the here. And register the database. So here SAP Linux 1 instance number 02 multi-container. So this secondary system development. Right. So it is registered. Now SAP Linux 1 instance number 02 tenant database HDB. Because both we have to register, all the databases we have to register into the our cockpit level. Register. Done. Okay. 4 databases are configured. Go to the HANA cockpit here. In the HANA cockpit, you will see the all our databases here. All our databases in the HANA cockpit level. Right. So 3 databases, 4 databases total. So here, what we have to do, we need to go into the databases. So this is the, suppose like SAP HANA is our primary database here. So we have to go to this database. We will get the replication tab. So maybe if you don't find here the replication tab, here you can search it out here. Replication. Here it's very simple actually. Somewhere it is monitoring the replication. System DB. Username system. Yes, see here a replication concept is there here. So configure replication. Root user. ADM. Yes, so HDD ADM you have to give it. So SID ADM. So configure the replication. So enable this system as primary. Site name PRI. So configure replication is running here. Then, so configure the replication. Here you will get the one form. So tier 1 here, the tier 2 site name, secondary host, SAP Linux 1, SAP Linux 1, right? So system has to be registered as a secondary of the system. Synchronous log replay, same. So here, whatever you want. So if you want to another tier, you can add it here. So you have to fill the form here, primary, secondary. So same replication modes, we have to choose it here. So then configure. So enable the try. Site name, secondary, then error on the system replication and configuration. SAP control is missing in the database. Okay. So in the database directory, secondary, we need to register it here. So register means we have to, this is the primary, this is the secondary. Here we need to choose the SAP Linux 1. Here enter the credentials. HDB ADM. Okay. So we have to connect to the system DB. There we need to type the same configurations. Okay. So here replication. So we need to choose the replication here. System replication. Same whatever we performed in the there. So here also system replication. Then here you choose here. So configure the system replication. So here secondary site, secondary. Then here we need to choose the SAP Linux 1. Then so here we have to perform the configuration here. So the SAP control credentials are missing in the database. So we have to authenticate with SID ADM. So that is the error we are getting here. So that one we have to check. That we will see tomorrow then. Okay. So that we will see tomorrow. So nothing is there. So here we have to authenticate the database with SID ADM user. Okay. That we'll see tomorrow. So I have a school run. So I need to drop the kids at school.